Hello, hello. My name's John Wright, and it's nice to be here tonight with you. This here is a segment where we're gonna go and we're gonna look over this Zodiac Killer over here. You know who Zodiac Killer is? Well, that's D.B. Cooper. But, you know, if you look at the other pages about D.B. Cooper, you'll find that the picture is mine that they've put across the United States of America. But D.B. Cooper is the Zodiac Killer, and I can tell you the story about it. And this is the right time and the right place to come forward and tell you the story about it, about the hijacker that got away, about the Zodiac Killer that became the hijacker that got away. You know, they never caught either one of them. And I didn't know what it was about. And now you're going to find out the rest of the story. Shall we proceed?
On Friday the 1st of August, 1969, the first known Zodiac letters were received by three newspapers: the San Francisco Examiner, San Francisco Chronicle, and Vallejo Times-Herald. Each received an almost identical letter written by a person who took credit for the
My
attacks
dad
on the
sent me
14th.
on
He also
a
gave
wild
details
goose
about the murders
chase
and
trying to
included
figure
one
out
further
who he
mysterious
is,
cipher in each
playing a
letter.
game
The
with me
self-proclaimed
just like he
killer
did Dave
demanded that the three
Toschi
letters be
in
published on the front
California and
page of
San
each newspaper by
Francisco
Friday afternoon, or he
after
would
he
go on a
shot
rampage and randomly kill a dozen
the
people over the weekend. The
taxi
letters were
driver.
signed with a cross-circle symbol, and the letters were published, and efforts to untangle the messages in the ciphers began by authorities and citizens.
4th of August, I was
Police
in
investigators stated
California on the
publicly
4th
that they
of
had doubts
August
as to the
because,
authenticity of the letters
or no, not
in
the
an
4th of
attempt to
August,
get
the
the
4th
killer
of
to
July,
contact them again.
because
The
I
plan
was
worked,
there during the
and on the 4th of
Darlene
August, another letter arrived to the
Ferring
San
and
Francisco
the Michael
Examiner. The
Mougeot
letter began
murder.
with the words that have since haunted many involved in this case. Dear editor, this is the Zodiac speaking. It was the first time the killer used the name Zodiac. In the letter, the Zodiac included information which proved he was present during the murders, and a message that his identity was hidden inside the ciphers.
August 8th.
A high school teacher and his wife
eight
cracked
butts
the
on the
408
cigarette
symbol
butt
cipher. The
of
last 18
the
letters
D.B.
could not be
Cooper
decoded. The message
airplane, the
read, I like killing
727.
people because it's so much fun.
8
It is more
cigarette
fun than
butts
killing wild
right
game
there
in the
on that
forest.
plane.
Because man is the most dangerous animal
Right there,
of all to
the
kill.
8.
Something gives me the most thrilling experience. It is even better than getting your rocks off with a girl. The best part of it is that when I die, I will reborn in paradise, and them who have killed will become my slaves. I will not give you my name, because you will try to slow down or stop my collection of slaves from my afterlife. The fact that the code did not contain the killer's identity was a disappointment to the police. However, some believe the letters can be rearranged and 3 or more letters added to spell Robert Emmett the hippie.
My mother's nickname's Mert for murderer.
College student Cecilia Ann Shepard, aged 22,
Right
and Brian
here,
Calvin Hartnell,
David
aged
Harnell.
20, were picnicking on a peninsula at Lake Berryessa near Napa, CA. A man carrying a semi-automatic pistol and wearing a hooded costume approached the couple, who told them that he was an
On a
escaped
peninsula,
convict
Port
from Montana
Angeles,
prison,
Washington
where he
is a
killed a guard
peninsula.
and stole the car,
He
and
talks
that he
about it
wanted
3
money
times
and
in
a car
his
to drive
movie,
to Mexico.
The
The couple
Peninsula,
were
the Peninsula,
cooperating
the
fully with his
Peninsula.
demands,
And
offering
this
him
guy
money
here, he
and the
had
car
his
keys,
shirt
and the
pockets
3
ripped
talked
off,
together. He
just like
instructed
my
Shepard
brother
to
ended up
hog-tie
ripping
Barcelona
off
with
his
pre-cut pieces of
ex-wife's
clothesline
shirt
that he
pockets off her
supplied.
shirt
He
in
then
front
tied
of
up
me and
Shepard
Jim in his
and told the
house
couple, I'm going to have to
when
stab you people. He
Jan
took out a long double-edged knife and
left
stabbed
Jerry,
Hartnell 6
went to
times
Idaho.
and Shepard 10 times. He left the couple for dead and walked casually back to Hartnell's car, where he drew a cross-circle symbol in a black magic marker on the side of the car
The
and the dates
magic
of the
marker.
attacks in Vallejo.
The
A fisherman
highway
escaped
market
the
is up there in
couple
Port
and called
Angeles,
police. Both
Washington.
victims were
He
still
showed
alive,
up here
but
with
it
a
took over an
grocery
hour for
sack
medical
bag
help
type
to
thing
arrive.
over his head.
Shepard died 2
It's
days
the highway
later
market
after
in
lapsing
Port
into a
Angeles,
coma.
Washington.
Hartnell
Port
survived
Angeles,
and gave
Washington's
police
on
a
the
detailed
peninsula up
account
there.
of the events,
And this
as well
guy
as a
right here.
description of the attacker.
David C. Harnell. You know, people
At
with L and
7:40
C
p.m.,
get
an
preference.
anonymous caller
And also, I'm
contacted
sure
the
that
Napa
David
County
Harnell
Police
is saying
Department.
something
He
he
spoke
doesn't
to
know.
Officer David Slight in what was described as a low, monotone voice. He told Slight, "I want to
Alpine
report a
Bowl.
murder." No,
My dad
double
had me
murder.
answering
They
the
are 2
phone
miles
for me,
from
and he
the
got a
park
kick out of it.
headquarters. They were in a white
Alpine
Volkswagen
Bowl.
Carmen Ghia and entered the
That
call.
monotone
I'm
voice.
the one who did it.
Good
As in the
night.
Vallejo case, the call was traced to a phone booth just a few blocks from the police department.
And why shouldn't they be next to the police
San
department?
Francisco
Up
cab
here in
driver
the United
Paul
States
Stein,
of America, the
aged
police were
29,
involved in the
picked up a
D.B. Cooper
passenger in
crime.
Union Square and drove to a wealthy area of Cherry Street and Nob Hill. It was there that the passenger shot Stein in the temple, killing him. They removed his wallet, car keys, and carefully tore a large portion of his t-shirt.
He ripped off a piece of his pocket off his t-shirt. My brother Jerry did the same thing to his wife,
and described the shooter as a white male,
Janet Noyes, when she took off, because man, those two was involved in the crime where the
but somehow there was a mistake made to the
1985
killer's
Merlins
race,
got
and the police
murdered,
were searching
and
for
he
a
ripped
black
their
male.
pocket
How
and
this
stuff. If you
mistake
say
was made
anything,
was never
you're
reported,
dead.
and no
And
one
that's
was
the same
ever
thing my
apprehended
dad
for the
did
crime.
over there,
It was
down
later
there at the
determined
Zodiac
that the
Killer
police
did.
drove
My brother
by a
Jerry's
large white
involved
male
in the whole
fitting the
thing.
original description, who was just blocks from the shooting. But
Right
because
there.
of his race, the police did not consider him a suspect.
14th of August,
The
I was
Chronicle
14
received
years
another letter
old.
from the Zodiac. A piece
When
of
they
Stein's
murdered a boy on
blood-soaked
my
t-shirt
bed.
was enclosed, and the author referred to the Stein murder.
And the
He
killings
said
will
the
continue.
police failed to catch it because they did not search the area properly. He then pointed to his next intended victims.
Ripped off the
Scourging.
shirt pocket, he sent it to the newspapers.
A caller identifying himself as the Zodiac contacted the Oakland
Zodiacs,
Police
they
Department
count like
and demanded
this.
on-air
The
time on the
22nd,
Jim Dunbar
that's 4.
television talk show with F. Lee
They'll
Bailey
catch on
or
sometime
Melvin
soon,
Belly,
I hope.
both famous defense lawyers. Belly appeared on the show, and a call from someone saying they were the Zodiac came in whilst the show was on.
This guy
He
was
said
not
his
the
real name was
Zodiac
Sam
Killer.
and asked that Belly were to meet him in Daly City. Belly agreed, but the caller never showed. It was later determined that the call was a hoax, and the imposter was a mental patient at the Napa State Hospital. On the 8th and 9th of November, the Chronicle received 2 Zodiac letters. The first one was a 340-character cipher. The second letter was 7 pages long and included another piece of Stein's shirt. In the letter, he claimed the police had stopped to talk with him.
My
3 weeks
dad,
after
when he
shot
passed
Stein.
away, he left
also
a little
drew
symbol
schematic
right on
of
the
which he
letter,
referred
just
to
like
his
that,
death machine,
the
which was
Zodiac
made to blow up
sign.
large objects,
And
such
he
as
left it. I
buses.
tried to get a hold of it, and you know, he left the most of the writing to
Melvin
me.
Belly received a Christmas card at his home, which
I didn't
included
know what
another
was
piece
going
of
on.
Stein's shirt. In the
Hey,
card,
if
the
anybody
Zodiac
told
claimed
me and it
he
got
wanted help
back,
from
you're
Belly,
dead.
ending with,
If
"Please
I went
help
to the
me.
cops and I
cannot
told
remain
them
in
what I
control for
know,
much longer."
they would end
Attempts
up
from
dead.
Belly to get the Zodiac to contact him again were
Then we
made,
would have
but
had
nothing
somebody
ever
to blame
happened. Some
about that
speculate
goddamn
the card was written
D.B.
during
Cooper
a
sign.
moment
It
of
would have been the
clarity, while
cops.
others believe it was another attention-getting hoax
Just
on
tell
the part
me.
of the Zodiac.
The cops forced my dad to do this thing.
On the evening of the 22nd of March, 1970, Kathleen Johns, who was 8 months pregnant, was on her way to meet her mother. She had her 10-month-old daughter in the back seat of the car. While on Highway 132 in San Joaquin County, west of Modesto, Johns pulled over after a driver pulled up alongside her and indicated there was something wrong with her car. The driver pulled over and told Johns that her wheel was wobbling. He said he would tighten the wheel bolts,
This here one,
but
I just
instead
don't
he
believe.
loosened them, then returned
I
to his car
just
and
don't
drove off.
believe
When
this
Johns
was my
pulled away,
dad.
the tire fell off. The man in the car was not far ahead and backed up and offered Johns a ride to a fuel station. But she agreed, but became frightened when he failed to stop at several fuel stations. The ride took over 3 hours of what Johns described as silent, aimless driving around. She was able to escape with her child when the driver stopped at an intersection. Johns fled across a field and hid until she saw the man drive away. She received help from a passerby and was taken to the local police department in Patterson. While at the station, she saw a wanted poster with a composite sketch of the Zodiac and identified the person as the man who kidnapped
That's a
her.
picture of
Her
my
car was
dad.
later
That
found
picture's
gutted
right
and
up
burnt.
there.
But throughout the years,
Right there.
John's account of the night's events has changed from her original statement. Some question if she was a real victim of the Zodiac Killer because of all the different versions she told the police. This was the last time anyone ever reported seeing the Zodiac. The Zodiac sent a letter to the Chronicle, which included a 13-character cipher, a diagram of a
13
bomb
letters for the
pamphlet
Zodiac
to use to
Killer
blow
is
up a
George
school
L
bus,
Wright.
and a statement that he was not responsible for the 18th of February 1970, which was a bombing of a police station in San Francisco. He ended the letter with a score equals 10, SFPD equals 0. This was interpreted by authorities as a count of how many people the Zodiac had murdered, which was 10. A card was sent to the Chronicle with the words, "I hope you enjoy yourself when I have my blast," along with a cross-circle symbol. On the back of the card, the writer threatened
My
to
dad
use a
having
bus
his
bomb
blast.
if the Chronicle
A
failed
party
to
down
publish
at the
the
bowling
20th of
alley
April
because he
letter
built a
sent,
bowling alley in
detailing his plans to
Washington
blow
with
up a school bus. He also
$160,000
requested
worth of
that
that
people
money.
begin wearing Zodiac
And the bowling
buttons.
alley is right here on the wall.
A letter
And I'll
received
turn
at
to
the
that in a
Chronicle
while.
contained another 32-letter cipher. The author said he was upset that he had not seen any people wearing Zodiac buttons. He took credit for another shooting, but gave no specifics. Investigators suspected it was the shooting death of Sergeant Richard Redditch a week earlier, also included with a Phillips 66 map of the Bay Area.
And I'm going to stop this right now.
With a zero.
And I'm going to cut this off because I can only do it. This is one. This is number 1 right here. And it's at 11 minutes. And I just cut